sir, nothing more. Alright? STEM doing their thing, see that? Alright, bet. STEMedia, yeah. Swag all over the place. Alright, let's flip inside. What's good? What's good? What's good, fam? How you doing? How you doing?
To have you all here. So that being said, we're going to get ready to get things moving, and we're going to pass it to a very personal, in-person welcome to our host right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Let me pass it to Kansas really quick. Y'all make some noise for him. Welcome to Atlanta. Come on. Hey. This way. There we go. Cool, man. Welcome to Atlanta.
Make it super, super simple. We connect people who own stuff or people that need stuff. So Korie used a perfect example about a drone. You need a drone, you need a camera, things of that nature. So everything that these photographers and videographers are holding, you can also rent on our platform as well. So I'll jump into exactly what that means, exactly what that looks like. But you guys also have an amazing roundup of speakers as well. I see some folks talking about real estate, some folks talking about crypto. You got Sister Science coming in later, so I did a little bit of research. Combined, over 530,000 Instagram followers across all of those people that are speaking. I only account for 2,000 of them. So you won't be hearing how to get Instagram followers during this talk.
How to manage money well. And so we're gonna take a deeper dive into a lot of those other things and the rest of these workshops, but I wanted to get us started with some of that. So the fourth thing here, and this is the last activity that we'll do, is to create SMART goals for your money mindset. Are we all familiar with SMART goals here? Okay, so for those of us that might not be familiar, it's specific, measurable, attainable, time-based, or realistic and time-based. Out of order. But
nice communication. So this is a nice quote that I found during my readings, and it's pretty much defined as science should not be regarded as a simplification or a translation, but more of a recontextualization of the scientific discourse. You can tell an academic wrote this from all the big words, but essentially when we try to simplify the science that we do, sometimes we lose the technicality of our science, and that's where the misinformation kind of starts happening. So we have to think about how to repackage this in a way and present it in a way that's actually understandable. We're not losing the technicality, but we're being clear of how we're presenting our science.
Right? I find new innovative ways to get us to want to be healthy. So what I did was all of my smoothies that you guys have right now, they're all named after dances. So we had the Ooh Killer, the Nay Nay, Do It for the Vine, the Electric Slide. Even our food, right? We had a Walk It Out wrap, the two-step turkey nut, the Torculated turkey burger, right? So what I wanted to do was, I wanted to do something a little different, a little more innovative, and we can have fun with being healthy, right? So a little bit about myself, like I said, I started in Alabama, I moved to Georgia, and where I met Kantis and a lot of the other guys, the first event that I did, and I'm gonna tell you the story, the first event that I did was Eric Thomas's basketball camp, right? So what I did was, when I was online, anybody that was online, anybody that was doing anything, I will find my way to be able to work with them in some type of capacity.
Using
right?
your brand to land paid emphasis on paid collaborations and partnerships. How many of us are interested in doing a paid collaboration or a sponsorship or a partnership? Hands up high. Ready to get that money, right? How many find it difficult and want to know how the hell do I do this? Yep, all right. So, social media, right? Honestly, people think like I'm this very extroverted person. I'm over here doing this content, like she's got to be an outgoing personality. Opposite. I'm actually very introverted. I prefer to be at home. I actually get very nervous in front of people. But over the years, I've learned to kind of deal with those nerves, deal with that kind of putting myself out there. You know, you got to be uncomfortable, right? In a lot of situations.
To grab our attention.
To grab our attention, why else did I do that?
Wake us up to the end of the day.
Okay. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. All right, cool. Let's talk real quick. Let's talk about all the presentations that you currently make for your job. Okay? Everybody has to participate. Everybody has to participate. Let's start on the east side, in the back. Tell me the type of presentation or something you speak on at work.
Product management.
Product management. Awesome, awesome. Next.
Design.
You said design?
So
Oh.
utility design. Utility design.
Utility design.
Number one, lack of money and experience is not a barrier. When I got started, no rich parents, no experience. My dad wasn't around, and I've made it. In fact, my story is a little unconventional, and it started like this. In my last year of college, I found out my dad's property was going to get demolished, was going to get sold at auction. It had about $5,000 worth of taxes. I wasn't working, I didn't have the money, and I didn't know how I was going to pay for this. But this property, I've known about it since I was young, because it was right across the street from my grandmother's house. And when my dad would go pick up rent, he would come home with a fat wad of cash. And he would give me money from it. So I knew that this property equaled money somehow. But when my parents divorced, he let everything go, including this property. So I've been vacant for over 10 years. So when I heard about this share sale, I hadn't seen it in a long time. I had no idea what condition it was in. And I decided I would take out a student loan and pay these back taxes. Now, $5,000 probably doesn't seem like a lot right now.
Do number 3, which is asset investing. All right. Now here's the thing: we don't have to necessarily stop our income generation right when we go to 3. You can overlap it. You can do it at the same time, whatever the case may be. In fact, if you listen to our last speaker, she says that when you get your asset investing, that should also bring more income generation. Should it not? Cash flow. All right. So asset investing. That's when you're going to say, where can I now put some of this money that I have? So I can put it into something that I find valuable, that can cash flow, that can appreciate, that can ultimately bring you a return. That's number 3. Number 4 is asset what? Protection. Asset protection. There are a couple of ways that people think about this. And again, this is based on the information that was taught to me. This is basically where I'm also applying as pillars, right? Pillars and principles. Asset protection has to do with a couple of things. Some people think about tax savings, right? We're talking about making sure that you're efficient. I believe in paying tax. I don't believe in skirting the government or invading the government, but I also have learned and realized that the tax code in our country, y'all, is written the way it is for a reason. They are intentionally giving more breaks to businesses than they are to individuals. That